Guess what day it is? It's ACOFAST Day, also known as the day the next book in the ACOTAR series is released. So of course I had to do something ACOTAR themed, and as I'm sure you know, ACOTAR is also on its way to becoming a movie, and so for all my fellow mass trash out there, I got you, boo-boo! Welcome to my ACOTAR Dreamcast. Before we get started, I just want to apologize for my voice. I am suffering a really bad cold at the moment. I feel fine now. I was dead all weekend. Now I feel okay, but I sound ridiculous and my nose is like all swollen, so this is gonna be good. We're off to an excellent start. The other thing I want to say is that while I am going to be showing you my Dreamcast, in reality, I secretly am hoping that they're just going to cast a bunch of unknowns so that they can really become the characters. So yeah, I picked people that I think look the part and that are also good actors. I tried to make sure I actually picked actors rather than just models whose aesthetic I liked because I wanted there to actually be a possibility of this Dreamcast being a reality, but I actually don't really care about any of these. No, that's not true. I'm happy with my choices, but at the same time I'm like, I just want them to find like nobodies to like become the characters. So the only one I'm really attached to is my casting for FEYRE, and she's not an unknown, but I think she would be absolutely perfect. Also, I'm gonna cast these in no particular order, so I'm gonna start with FEYRE and end with RHYS just for some nice symmetry, but everyone else is just kind of like in the middle as I feel it. So this is not in like order of importance or appearance or anything. This is just the order of my brain, so enjoy. Let's get into the video. So, oh, the other thing that I want to say is that I'm going to murder all of these names. I already know. So I apologize to the actors and also to readers who know the actual pronunciation for the character names. I'm just going to do my thing and you can deal with it, take it or leave it. I'm sorry. I'm only human. So without further ado, my casting for FEYRE is ALYCIA DEBNAM CAREY. So if you guys have watched The 100, she plays Lexa. She is just unbelievably beautiful and I think looks exactly how I pictured FEYRE in my mind. If you've seen the show, you know that she can play badass really well, gentle really well, heartbroken really well. She's just a great actress and she's also really good at accents. So she's Australian, I think, by birth, but she can do American, she can be British. So whatever they decide to do for the show, I feel like she could do it. Yeah. She's a great actress and she's stunning. I feel like sometimes ethereal faces can be like too otherworldly or like too fierce, but hers has this very like soft, gentle quality even when she's like in a rage, which I feel like is really good for FEYRE. Yeah, that's who I'm casting. I'm actually quite attached to this one. The other ones I'm like, meh, but I just feel like she would be so perfect. Yeah, I just can't stop seeing it and I would love that, so fingers crossed. Next, I will cast Nesta. I have chosen Saoirse Ronan, who I think is also another brilliant actress. I mean, I think she's Academy Award at least nominated, or maybe she won, but she's phenomenal. She's been in like everything. She's also a master of accents, and I think she looks somewhat similar to ALYCIA, except that her face has this very like strong, fierce quality that's lacking, which I think is perfect for Nesta, especially as she's aged. Like when she was young, she had quite a sweet face, but like her nose has become like quite prominent and she's like leaned out a bit in her cheeks, and like it just looks so like fierce and strong, and I just feel like she would be so perfect for Nesta. So that's who I'm casting for Nesta. Also, Nesta is bae. I'm actually, you know what, I'm attached to these. I said I'm not attached to any of them, but I'm like, actually I'm very pleased with like who I've come up with. But then at the same time, like, I do hope that they go for unknowns. But Saoirse Ronan, yeah, she's a brilliant actress, so I know she could do a really great job, and I think she really looks the part as well. Next, I'm casting ELAIN. For ELAIN, I have chosen ERIN ZYDERVELD. Now, she's not actually a famous actress yet, she's one of my friends, but she has an acting degree, and she is brilliant. And also, I think her face is a very good mix of Saoirse Ronan and ALYCIA DEBNAM CAREY, and she has this very, like, sweet persona. Like, obviously she can act, but, like, just her very essence is very like fragile and gentle in the same way that ELAIN's is, so I feel like she would be a really good choice. So yeah, looks the part, good actress, that's what I'm feeling. Next, I'll cast TAMLIN. For TAMLIN, I have chosen Sam HEUGHAN. Now, if you've seen Outlander, he plays the lead romantic interest in that. Obviously, he's a brilliant actor. Obviously, he can also do a variety of accents. He is a little bit old, but I feel like one thing that I've been finding is that it's really hard to find people actually the same age as the characters, so like early to mid-20s, that still have like a commanding presence, or that don't look young, because I think a lot of the time with like famous younger, like 20-year-old actors, they look like teens, but so they kind of lose that like ancient fae quality. So yeah, some of these are going to be like a little bit older, but whatever. I think it works. So yes, I've chosen Sam HEUGHAN. I think that he has a very handsome presence. He looks like your typical like blonde, beautiful boy. I guess he's kind of ginger, but like they can give him some blonde hair. In the beginning, Tamlin is not hated, right? So he needs to have like redeemable qualities, but yet I still feel like there's been a few scenes in Outlander where he's come across like very aggressive and like not abusive, but like a product of his time. So I feel like he could play into that and do Tamlin really well in the later stories if they make further movies. Next, I shall cast Lucien. I have chosen Simon Woods. So if you've seen Pride and Prejudice, he plays Mr. Bingley way back in the day. He's obviously older now. He's lost some of that like boyish charm, but I still feel like his face has a very beautiful quality, which I associate with Lucien, like fox-like and sleek rather than like ruggedly handsome, kind of like prettily handsome, I don't know. And he's a natural redhead, so it would be very easy to like give him some long, luscious, flowing red locks and it would look quite natural. Obviously he's a great actor as well, so I think that that would be a very good choice. Next, I'm going to cast our favorite villain, Amarantha. So for her, I have chosen, and I'm going to say her name wrong, I think, Madeleine PETSCH. PETSCH? So she's actually quite a bit younger. I was worried she was too young, but I think she'd be brilliant. If you guys don't know her, she plays, gosh, I'm gonna forget her name now, the crazy redheaded bitch in Riverdale. I don't remember her name right now. Yeah, I think she's a really good actress and she plays crazy really well. Madeleine's face is very stunning, but at the same time, it's like stunning that also looks like she would have no problem watching someone get their skin flayed for fun. She's got like this really interesting quality, which is like you're stunning, but also like I'm kind of terrified of you. So I think she would be great. I think she could do a very good job as our main villain. Next, I'm going to cast the King of HYBERN. He does not play a very prominent role in the first book, but I feel like if they make more movies, he'll come into it. So for him, I have casted rather controversially Kit Harington, who, if you watch Game of Thrones, plays Jon Snow. I've chosen him because, first of all, he is a brilliant actor, and while you might be thinking, no, he's like too dopey and sweet for HYBERN, like if you remember the description of HYBERN, he's described as being handsome in a human way, but also like a little bit plain and like there's nothing that's that striking about his face. And so I feel like Kit Harington has that kind of face. It's a face that's like, it's handsome, but it's just like kind of average. So like as Jon Snow, he's like adorable and you want to love him, but I feel like if he played a villain, his face would easily scream punch me. So like I think it'd be great, and obviously he's a good actor, so I think he could easily play into a villain side. Next, I'm going to cast Moore. For Moore, I have chosen Teresa Palmer. Recently I watched her in Warm Bodies, which is sort of where I got the idea. She played the lead, whose name I can't remember now. Anyways, but yeah, I think she's a great actress. She can also do a variety of accents. I think she's Australian by birth as well, but I think she has that like perfect quality for Moore, which is like the very standard beauty. Like she just looks like a popular, beautiful blonde, but at the same time, there's like this fierce quality to her face. Like it's got this interesting dichotomy between like sweetness, which is very like innocent and pure and bubbly, but at the same time when she smiles, it's like, oh shit, like that's a little fierce. So it's like this contrast between the gentle and the sharp that I really like. And yeah, obviously she's a great actress as well, so I think she could do a really good job for Moore. Just ignore my plugged nose sounding worse and worse. My casting for AMREN is RILA FUKUSHIMA. Now, I haven't seen her in anything personally, but I think she is in X-Men, I heard. She's a Japanese actress, and why I chose her for AMREN is obviously she's an actress, so that works, and then also the triangular quality of her face is exactly how I pictured AMREN. Like she's got this really interesting, sharp, angular face, which is like quite wide on the top and then narrows into the chin, and I just found that like so striking and almost exactly how I pictured AMREN, with this very like beautiful but like interesting, fierce, complex face. So I'm actually very pleased about this choice. And yeah, obviously she's an actress too, so I should just stop saying that. I keep saying like, and they're an actor or an actress, so they'll be a great choice, but like no shit, like I picked actors and actresses on purpose, so that's kind of a given, but oh well. I'm just trying to justify my choices so you don't come at me in the comments. Now we will move on to everybody's favorite baby bat, Azriel. For Azriel, I have chosen Luke Pasqualino, I think is how you say his name. I'm sorry if it's not. If you guys have seen the Three Musketeers by, I think it's BBC, he plays D'Artagnan, and I think he would be great for Azriel because obviously he's a brilliant actor, And then he's got this very like interesting secretive quality to his face. Like he's handsome, but again, not in the standard way. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's the hooded brow, but I feel like there's something like quite secretive about his face. But at the same time, it's like very gentle and it screams like, hug me. So I'm like, okay, I will. So yes, I think he would be perfect for Azriel. Next, I'm going to cast Cassian. For Cassian, I have chosen Ben Barnes. Now, before you come at me, if you remember him in Prince Caspian, he's like quite a lithe, like almost elf-like young face, but I feel like with age, he's like really bulked up and like gotten that like warrior build, and he's like much more rugged now. He is like quite a bit older. I think he's like pushing 40, but like he looks young enough, and I feel like, yeah, obviously he's a brilliant actor. He's got lots of experience in fantasy films. Yeah, I think he really looks the part. I mean, it's kind of like one of those ethnically ambiguous things. Like when he was in Prince Caspian, like he looked very brownish skin and like black hair, black eyes, but then I've seen pictures of him with like kind of a ginger beard, so like that's my like one hang up, is I feel like he looks, or he could be made to look the part really well, and has that like ruggedly like standard handsome face that's like, it's like the large square head thing, I think, that screams Cassian to me. And he looks good with long hair. But yeah, that's my one concern, is like I don't want to whitewash the cast, and I'm like, is he white ethnically? I don't know, because it depends on the movie. And finally, last but very much not least, and what I'm sure everybody has been waiting for, is my casting for RHYS. So for RHYS, I have cast Sean O'Pry, which I think a lot of you will know who he is just from like Tumblr, because he's like one of the go-to people that is chosen to like represent RHYS in like mood boards or whatever. So you'll probably recognize him. He's not an actor, he is a model. I picked him because, well, first of all, his face, like everything about him is like RHYS to me. Like his aesthetic is perfect. He definitely looks the part. But then, even though he's a model, he does have some acting credits. He's done like some small projects. He was also the guy in a Taylor Swift music video. I think it was Blank Space. So he's done some acting, and I read that he was considered to play that guy from 50 Shades, Christian Grey? Yes, he was considered for that role, which, even though he didn't get it, suggests to me the fact that he was considered means that he must have some acting ability. So yeah, that's my justification for picking a non-actor. He looks the part, and he does have some acting experience and seems to be wanting to lean in that direction. So provided that he can actually pull it off, and they're not just picking him for his pretty face, he is my dream RHYS. So yeah, that's my fan cast. You guys have been asking for this for ages, and I have been working on it, but I've been trying to like pick the perfect people, you know, to make it truly my fan cast and not just some like faces I pulled out of nowhere. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree with any of my castings and who you would cast in their place. As well, I have some exciting stuff coming up this month for Warstorm, which is the last book in the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, and I'm also doing a live show for ACOFAS, most likely on May 17th, so I will keep you posted about that. But I'd love to have you guys watch and send in your questions so that me and some fellow creators can answer. So make sure that you've read the book by then, because we will be discussing spoilery content. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. As always, I love you, and I will see you next time.